The arena is quiet now. The lights are dimmed, the crowd still standing long after the final bell rang, long after John Cena disappeared through the curtain for the very last time. Chants of, "Thank you Cena," echo like a heartbeat through the building, slow, emotional, unforgettable. Then the music hits. Not Cena's, Triple H's. The game steps onto the stage, not in a suit of authority, not as the ruthless cerebral assassin, but as a man carrying the weight of history. He pauses, looks around, takes it all in. The fans already know this isn't just another segment. This is different. He steps into the ring. No smirk, no bravado, just respect. Triple H lifts the microphone, waits for the crowd to settle, and when he finally speaks, his voice is calm, steady, but heavy with emotion. "John, I've stood in this ring with a lot of legends. The crowd reacts instantly. I've fought them, I've learned from them, I've watched them come and go. But there are only a few who didn't just change this business, they carried it." He pauses, letting the words breathe. "And tonight, after your final match, we all witness the end of an era that will never happen again." The fans erupt. Triple H nods, letting them speak for him. "You know, people talk about championships. They talk about main events. They talk about WrestleManias. And yeah, you've done all of that. More than anyone thought possible." He smiles slightly. "But that's not why I'm standing here." The crowd grows quiet again. "I'm standing here because for over 20 years, you showed up. When it was easy, when it was hard, when you were loved, when you were hated, when your body was broken and your voice was gone." He points toward the entrance ramp. "You didn't just wear the colors of WWE, you became them." A loud, "Cena" chant fills the arena. Triple H looks out at the fans, then back to the hard camera. "There were nights when this company leaned on you more than it ever should have leaned on one man. And you never complained, you never backed away, you just said, 'Give me the ball.'" He shakes his head, almost in disbelief. "And you ran with it, every single time." The tone shifts. More personal now. "I've known John Cena the performer. The face of the company. The standard. The workhorse." He lowers his voice. "But I've also known John Cena the man." The crowd listens closely. The guy who stayed late to help younger talent. The guy who never forgot where he came from. The guy who understood that this ring, this crowd, this business, it's bigger than any one person. He takes a breath. "You didn't just open doors. You kicked them down, and then you held them open for everyone who came after you." Another wave of applause. "And tonight, when you walked that aisle for the last time as an active competitor, you didn't just say goodbye to wrestling." He pauses. "You passed the torch." The words hit hard. Every superstar in that locker room, from the first match to the main event, they owe part of their journey to you. Because you set the bar. And then you raised it. Again, and again, and again. Triple H looks toward the entrance once more, almost expecting Cena to walk back out. "John, you once said, 'My time is now.'" The crowd reacts loudly. "Well, your time isn't over." He smiles. "Because legends don't retire. They live forever in moments like this. In memories like this. In the standard they leave behind." The arena grows emotional. "Years from now, when people talk about what it means to be a WWE superstar, your name will be the example." He nods slowly. "And on behalf of this entire company, on behalf of every fan in this building, on behalf of everyone watching around the world." Triple H straightens up. "Thank you." A thunderous reaction fills the arena. "Thank you for the sacrifices. Thank you for the dedication. Thank you for believing in this place when it mattered most." His voice tightens just a little. "And thank you, for never giving up on us." Triple H lowers the mic, then raises it one final time. "John Cena, this will always be your home." He sets the microphone down in the center of the ring. No music plays. The crowd stands. Applauds. Chants. Cheers. The camera cuts to the entrance ramp, where Cena appears once more, not to wrestle, not to speak, but to acknowledge the moment. He raises his hand, salutes the crowd, locks eyes with Triple H. Two eras. One ring. One farewell. And as the screen fades to black, one truth remains undeniable. John Cena didn't just leave WWE. He became a permanent part of its soul. The camera doesn't cut away. It stays right there as John Cena stands on the stage, hand over his heart, eyes locked on the ring where Triple H waits. The applause refuses to die down. It only grows louder, heavier, more emotional. Cena slowly walks back down the ramp. Not running, not playing to the crowd. Walking. Every step feels like the weight of 20 years pressing into the canvas beneath his boots. Triple H steps forward as Cena enters the ring. No words, no microphones, just a long, silent stare between two men who helped define an entire generation of WWE. Then Triple H opens his arms. And Cena steps into the embrace. The crowd explodes. This isn't scripted emotion, this is history colliding with reality. The game pats Cena on the back, pulls away, and hands him the microphone he left in the center of the ring. Cena looks down at it for a moment. Takes a breath. When he finally speaks, his voice isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. Hunter, I don't even know where to start. The crowd cheers softly, respectfully. You talked about carrying this company. About setting the standard. Cena shakes his head. But you're standing across from someone who watched you do the same thing long before I ever became the guy. The fans react immediately. You taught all of us what leadership looks like in this ring, and behind the curtain. Cena turns toward the crowd. And everything you said tonight, it belongs to them just as much as it belongs to me. A loud cheer follows. Because without this crowd, without these fans, there is no John Cena. He pauses, emotion creeping into his voice. There were nights I didn't know if my body could keep going. Nights when the noise was too loud. Nights when the pressure felt impossible. He looks back at Triple H. And you always reminded me why we do this. Cena scans the arena, slowly. For the kid in the front row seeing WWE live for the first time. Cheers. For the fan at home who needed an escape. More cheers. For the locker room full of talent watching, learning, dreaming. Cena nods. This ring gave me everything. And tonight, saying goodbye to it as a competitor, hurts more than I ever expected. The crowd begins a, "Thank you Cena," chant again. He lets it happen, soaks it in, then he raises the mic once more. But I'm not sad. The crowd quiets. I'm proud. A strong reaction. Proud of the work. Proud of the battles. Proud of the failures just as much as the victories. He smiles. And proud that the future of WWE is in hands stronger than ever. Cena gestures toward the back. To everyone back there, this is your time now. The fans roar. Carry it. Protect it. Make it better than we ever did. He turns back to Triple H one final time. And Hunter, thank you, for trusting me with this place. Triple H nods, visibly moved. Cena lowers the microphone and places it gently on the mat, right next to where Triple H left his earlier. Symbolic. Intentional. Final. The two men stand side by side in the center of the ring. The camera pulls back. The crowd rises again, applauding as confetti begins to fall from the rafters. Cena raises his hand in one final salute. Triple H places a hand on Cena's shoulder. No words left to say. As Cena exits the ring and walks up the ramp one last time, the screen fills with highlights. Championships, WrestleManias, rivalries, victories, losses, moments that shaped WWE forever. At the top of the stage, Cena turns around. Looks back at the ring. Looks back at the crowd. And for the final time, "You can't see me." The screen fades to black. And just like that, John Cena's final chapter ends. But his legacy lives forever.